Hello SUMC, Rob here, reporting in from one of SUMC Music's above ground layers with some more thoughts and another friendly check-in to continue to hope you're safe and well and to encourage you to stay in touch. When I was a wee child, I'd ride in the car with my parents and my sister over the river and through the woods to church. No, really, we came from Wayland, so it was over the Sudbury River and then through the woods on that steep incline towards SUMC. Halfway across the Sudbury River on Route 27, my dad or my mom would ask, of no one in particular, the half-rhetorical question, I wonder what will happen in church today. Because, dear Sudbury friends, you know as well as I do, and it has ever been the case, going back through these many decades, there's no such thing as a normal, blah, boring Sunday at SUMC. It's just not. If we're not handing out blankets to graduates, we're hearing from prison ministries folks, or we're recognizing marginalized communities, or we're highlighting a particular outreach effort of our church, or we're doing lots and lots of particular kinds of music. A tradition that was begun most of 2 decades ago was Music Ministry Sunday. In truth, it doubled as a helpful way of keeping the pastor from having to go to annual conference from Tuesday to Saturday and then have to find a way to simultaneously write a sermon for the ensuing Sunday morning. So instead, we musicians covered the sermon block with some of our greatest hits of the past program year. For anyone of a certain generation here in Greater Boston, it was the equivalent of the little encore segment of the end of every episode of Community Auditions. Too obscure? Star of the day. Anyway, that Music Ministry Sunday thing was 2 weeks ago, and this Sunday we're taking a newer Sunday morning music tradition and adjusting it slightly. You may recall last year at this time we tried out an idea that Pastor Lee brought with her from her most recent pastor hitch in Vermont, namely Jazz Sunday. Now, there are worship services out there that feature on a weekly basis just jazz-styled music. One of them in Boston is called Jazz Vespers. Now, I'm a lover of musical variety for its ability to hit lots of different people where they live, kind of a guaranteed to like at least one thing situation. It also keeps our choir and other musicians, and presumably you out there in the pews, from getting bored. I don't know what I think of the idea of using jazz constantly in worship. I rather think I'd start to miss, every other style of music available. But from time to time, kind of a fun idea to highlight one particular style of music. So this Sunday we're doing a version of the newer tradition, and we're calling it American Roots Music Sunday. Now, if you haven't seen Ken Burns' documentary about country music, then how can I describe what roots music is? Okay, how about this? The movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? But without the story, or the dusty landscape, or the turn-of-the-century costumes, or George Clooney, sadly. When that movie was released in the year 2000, I remember hearing a piece on NPR about it, which talked about how the music used in the movie was not just a useful way of creating the atmosphere in which the movie's story could be told, but it was actually a character in itself. Seems about right to me. It's been a while since I watched Oh Brother, which was a folksy retelling of the Odysseus story from Greek mythology. I really should do that this weekend to get in the proper frame of mind. But yeah, we're looking at fiddle tunes, early country music, bluegrass, spirituals, musical things that we dip our toes into from time to time, but Sunday, we're going for it. Whole hog, if you will. Anything that happens is musical, with the possible exception of the doxology. It'll be rural American music from the late 1800s and very early 1900s. You'll have a good time, I'm sure. Hopefully as much of a good time as the folks up on the chancel are having. Yeah, I bet you will. Anyway, please check back here every Friday afternoon if you like for more video hellos here on SUMC's Facebook page or on the USUMC YouTube channel, Sudbury United Methodist Church 2501. My email address will appear here momentarily. Please feel free to use it any time for any reason. And as always, if you need to get in touch with any church staff people for any reason, please do during normal business hours. Because no matter how, no matter what, doing the work of the church together is the big thing. Keep in touch, keep the faith, stay connected.